All right. I'm here.
All right. It says we're live. So, welcome from the crossroads of America to Shooting with Disabilities. But we also talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. We'll answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other good stuff in the info down below. Okay, let's see. In the chat, while we're waiting for it, the first in was Jason Stewart, then Patriot in the Dark, then Gun Loving Grandpa, Jerry Parker, Echo Reloading. And who else we got coming in? Let's have a look. Got a conversation going on. G23's here. Southpaw RX is here. Okay, good to see y'all. All right, starting off with my panel here. I got the man, the myth, the legend, Patriot in the Dark. Has he wandered off on me? Can't hear you, Patriot. You done something to your mic again.
All right. Am I here? Am I
You're
there?
here now.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for having me. Good evening.
All right. Then we got Jason Stewart.
Hi, Rick. How y'all doing?
All right. Then we got, I think he's lovable, the Squibload.
I yield my time to the gentleman from New York State.
Then we got Will and Well Armed from Georgia.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
All right. Then we got the one and only from Behind Enemy Lines, New York Outcast.
How you doing, everybody? Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us.
You got a disgusting, corrupt governor. You know that?
Oh, I do. He's a dirty, sleazy son of a gun.
And his brother ain't no better.
Bit him.
Yeah, and Will and Well Armed. See,
wait. What did he do that was so bad? Did he make cheese on omelets mandatory or what?
Oh, the governor? No, he's being. They finally got him backed into a corner on all his sexual allegations and shit.
Oh, he'll wiggle out of it like every politician does.
Oh, I think he will. I think he will too. But Will and Well Arms, is in brotherly love country too. Because in CNN, aren't they based in Atlanta, Georgia? Well, they used to be.
Yeah, they're still here.
Yeah.
What's up with them?
I'm just saying, the governor of New York's brother works for him.
Oh, but those idiots are in New York. Not all the, libtards are here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Even Uncle Joe there called for Cuomo to resign.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I love to see how this goes.
All right.
Do you think he was virtue signaling when he said that? Or, I mean, that's kind of bizarre that he would turn on his own. I mean, I know they do.
No idea.
None of it matters. None of it matters because they're the Washington types. They have nothing to do with it. You got to wait until the state guys do something, I think.
So he was virtue signaling.
Whatever. They're all saying, "Oh yeah, he's bad," but that's just a distraction too.
Well,
they'll just drag it out. Longer he talks, and longer they push it out. Well, because it doesn't matter what Washington thinks because they're not in charge of the state, and so he'll drag it out, and it'll be December. It'll be so. Yeah, I don't see anything happening. He won't go willingly.
No, I agree with you. All right. Anyway, let's get the show on the road now. I think we're going. I do apologize for being a couple of minutes late. I was all excited today because I managed to get hold of only 100 small rifle primers and some rifle powder from a 223. So I'm going to set up my set up my dies and loaded at least 100 rounds. So I was all excited. That's what I was talking about before I went live. You know, but then shooting with disabilities. To be honest with you, I was so excited over this today, I didn't look up a topic to talk about. You know, so I mean, I don't. It doesn't just apply to disabled people or whatever, because not all. But I mean, one of the reasons I reload, I like doing it, but also being on a Social Security disability only, right? I can save money by reloading, I think, in the long run. You know?
You've got mail.
So, I mean, I know I'm just trying to come up with a topic off the top of my head here, guys. Help me out.
Well, whether you save money or not, or whether it costs more, reloading's a hobby. It's fun. It's something to do. And maybe more valuable than cost is availability.
Yeah,
you
you're right.
know?
But I was trying to link it with my title of my show, Shooting with Disabilities. That's what I was trying to do. I know it was a bit of a stretch, but that's what I was trying to do.
But I think it's also a needed skill in case hard times come, and you had that.
Well, Rick, reload with your eyes closed. There's a disability.
Yeah. But
I think it's. I'm sorry.
What I was going to say is, according to the anti-gunners and the far left, if you own reloading equipment, you are definitely on the the terrorist watch list.
The radicals.
Yes.
Are they going that far? Are they?
Yes. Yeah. They are, because I was reading an article. It was an article. Well, it was a month or so ago when they arrested somebody, and they went to his house. He had 1,000 rounds of ammo plus reloading equipment.
At this point, if you're not on a few of those lists, then you're not truly a patriot.
Yeah. Now, what I want to know, anybody here who was there that day, had they been visited by the FBI? You know? Because what made me say that?
We had lunch.
I was listening to Guns and Gadgets the other day, and he said he was visited by the FBI. You know, because he was down there doing a live broadcast from his car. I don't think he actually got out. I think he was just driving around. You know, he was just driving around DC.
Being visited by a law enforcement agency at any level and getting questioned downtown, getting detained, getting asked to come in, having the cuffs put on you, having a freeze put on, your ability to travel or spend money or something. There's big differences between that. I just noticed that lately a few bigger channels, especially the ones that really care more about money than our rights, had been talking about getting visited by federals. And I'm just wondering if that's just now a trend because YouTube is, gotten stricter with monetization and stuff like that, and they're just looking to build their channels, or are they sincerely sending a warning to everybody saying, hey, look, I'm on their radar, you could be next. There's so much artificial fear-mongering going on, I just don't know to necessarily trust some of these channels, especially when they've made it quite clear that money is the most important thing to them, not all of our freedoms. So I don't necessarily know that I trust it.
I wouldn't trust any of them.
No,
None
I
of them.
agree with you.
Either way, I don't trust any of them.
I haven't been visited. I've gotten threats and all types of stuff, and people saying I will be visited through some of my videos. But to my knowledge, I haven't been visited. Although I will state I've noticed some weird vehicles sitting around and watching me cut grass and then driving off when I come up to them. SUV. So I don't know, if it maybe from a distance they're taking a look, just a glance over. I have no idea. But I couldn't say they are or aren't. Honestly,
You're more like,
it could just be.
See, you more than likely got them confused because
I don't know.
Because you don't fit the profile of a Trump supporter. You're not white. You know?
Well, like I said, I can't speak one way or another. I can say publicly I have not been visited, although I've had all types of threats and stuff about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why they drive off, right? They don't even get out of the car.
Yeah.
Now, I realize they don't care what they do with our tax dollars. They waste it all the time. But this isn't something that's cheap to do as far as figuring out who's who was where, what, getting people out there, having them watch them around the clock or do this or do that. I'm not saying that it's out of the realm of possibility. But one thing is to consider that if they're doing this, it could just be something where, let's say it's all real. Okay, it's not big YouTube channel X going, dang, how am I going to get more subs? You know, YouTube throttled me back. What am I going to do? I know. You know, it could just be that they want these channels to go out there and say this stuff. That'll scare people. How many people won't put their name on a petition because they're afraid the government's going to come get them? How many people won't order something over the internet because they're afraid the government's going to come get them? So if they want to spread disinformation, that's a really cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. What Squib says about, you know, just kind of to throw that scare up. But if you think that they have to sit outside your house to know what you're doing, that's just, I don't know. I don't see it. You know, they know who you call. They know all that kind of stuff. If they want, whatever, you know, it's, I don't know. It's if you let it bother you. I mean, if you're not doing something illegal, like making something illegal, using something or doing something illegal, whatever. I know they think everything's illegal, but yeah, I don't stress about that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, unless they knock and they bang in and they kick my door in, then I'll probably start worrying about it.
Okay. But hey, what about those guys sitting in jail for the last 7 months? And they haven't even been charged yet.
Yeah.
They ain't done nothing illegal.
Yeah, but it's not like anybody's making, you know, gun accessories at home and selling them on the internet or nothing.
Well, those guys that are sitting there, who's actually stood up and fought against that? Has any of the big channels, quote unquote, whatever, have they done anything to get anybody out, to pay for some lawyer to check into it?
Do we really know for sure that there's really people that have been held in some sort of federal prison for 7 months without being charged, without this, without that? Or is it more of the BS rumors that are out there?
I don't know.
Because if you're taken in and locked up and they let you out, I'm sure with anything federal, they've got some kind of gag on you so that you're not allowed to run your mouth about it, because that could make it worse. And if they don't have an official gag order on you, I'm sure your lawyer tells you to shut the hell up. So
no, I think the governors of both Florida and Texas are talking about they have the highest number of people that are detained. There is a real number of people, and there is a real list out there of who all is currently. I heard 106, but I can't remember if that was right or something else.
I seen a guy that's on one of the posters people are complaining about. I'm not sure his name. That you know, he was at least there. I don't know if they have him detained or whatever, but that's, you know, people are complaining about it. So you know, take that for what it is. But and also, you know, like with investigations too, not saying they are or aren't, but you know, a lot of times people are investigated without their knowledge. You know, for political or for different reasons, we'll just state, but and you're either excluded or they take it further. So it's not really uncommon. Like the guy next door gets murdered, people might look into you a little bit or something like that. Like it's really not that uncommon.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're actually going to move forward. It's usually to exclude you from that, but they'd rather not bring it to your attention so you can change your habits or get rid of evidence or God knows what.
Well, what about the fourth cop that was there committing suicide?
I know, that's so terrible, isn't it?
Man, that's kind of like way beyond the average, right? 4 cops that were there have all committed suicide. I mean, that's like getting into the Clinton numbers right
I
there.
know. Well, what I'm saying is, in the big scheme of, if you want to call it a riot, using their words, right? It wasn't that bad. And if they get so depressed over that, they shouldn't have been a cop to start with.
Well, look, at the end of the day, well, in the middle of the day, we'll put it that way. Everybody left, and everybody came back in the building and sat down and did their vote, and then left and went home as business as usual. Now, they say it was the most terrible thing that's happened in this country since the Civil War and all that crap on the news. It really wasn't that bad. The place is still standing, ain't it? If I'd been there, I'd have burned it to the ground. So they're lucky. They got off lucky. Nobody was really hurt of the Congress. Uh, Nobody talks about it, but one lady was just standing there and she got shot and killed. So
Yeah.
like the government still is the bad guy in my opinion of that whole day.
Yeah,
You know, they
they still haven't come out with anything about that.
Yeah, but all those senators and representatives that were so in fear of their life and everything, I think the only ones that was in fear of their life is the ones that know the crowd was looking for them. That's
Yeah.
their own doing. You know what I mean? But they all came back. They all did their vote. Everything was fine.
And this is used as a distraction, I'm sure.
Yes.
If they're 14,000 hours of footage, and this was so violent, then we need to see the footage. They need to release it, and these lawyers that are representing these people, they definitely need to have the footage so they can represent when see exactly. They got every square inch, probably 4 cameras on their suspect, on their client, at every second of the time they were in the Capitol. So, why not release the footage if it was the worst thing since the Civil War?
Well, because it doesn't fit their narrative, does it? I mean, look at that goddamn commission that she set up. All they've shown is, yes, some people did, they bash the window down or force their way into a door, right? That a little bit of that did happen, but they never when that commission's going on, they haven't shown any of the cops opening up the doors, moving the barricades out for the people.
Yeah, I saw a couple weeks
Come
ago.
on,
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I saw there's a 84-year-old woman that was there, and they decided to go ahead and charge her and press charges. But there's videotape of her with 2 cops holding the doors open so she could come in.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I mean, we're just being. I think it was. I'm starting to come around to Squid's way of thinking. About the. It's over and done with. There's no point hashing it. Whether, I mean, we all know that something fishy went on with the election, but it doesn't matter if we could prove it today. It doesn't change the fact that we still got the asshole in the White House until the 2024.
You know who I haven't heard a lick of word about? Mike Pence.
He's out and about doing his stuff still.
The traitor? If he's smart, he's hiding because he's a traitor.
I've been seeing him, paying attention to him more and more, and this evening on the way home, I know I passed 50 houses here that still have Trump Pence signs out in their front yards.
Oh yeah, they do. They do here in Indiana too.
Yeah, but I'd go out and take Pence off of. Not all of them say Pence. Some of them are just Trump. You know what
Okay,
I mean? You still see them with Pence on there.
Okay, I mean, I want to ask, why do you say he's a traitor? I want to hear somebody else's.
He had the ability to do something about this, and he stood down. He stood down with the rest of the Republican Party, who said, we don't care about the people who elected us, and who have reelected this man as president. This guy doesn't play ball with us. He's not one of us. We are going to flush him down the toilet, even if that means we have to welcome with open arms an administration that did not legitimately win the election. That's what happened. He jumped on board with the rest of the people that in Trump's party who didn't like Trump. That's what he did. He played ball.
A little more detail on that. On the 6th of January, what was going to happen that afternoon was they had a quorum of, and they had enough Republicans to actually make it happen, and then force a deeper recount and not certify the election. And Pence was that pivotal guy, and he swung the other way, and that's what happened. And they blamed it all on the terrorism or whatever happened earlier that afternoon. So that's what Pence did, and that's why people are pissed at Pence.
Now, but then, I mean, I'm not on his side. I agree with what you're saying, but didn't he come back with and said, in his good conscience, that isn't how he read the Constitution of the United States, that he could do that?
That's his excuse. That's his scapegoat excuse. He had an opportunity to make a difference for the people that voted for him and voted to reelect him. He had an opportunity to do what we put him in office to do, and he failed us like so many of these other guys. I say vote out every Republican that's there in the primaries. So you can still vote Republican, but get some new blood in here. Vote them all out in the primaries. Say bye. Don't you ever do that to us again. I don't care if this guy doesn't play ball. He's what we asked for twice. So you work for us. If this is the guy we want, then you damn well better make sure that if he legitimately won, which he did, we all know that you make it, you use our legal system, our system of checks and balances, and you make sure that the fraud doesn't get committed. But that's not what they did. They said they didn't like this guy from day one. They didn't like the guy when he was in the primaries with all these other Republicans that wanted to run for president. The first time around, they did not like him. And he bullied his way in. And once he got in, he would not play ball. And they were plotting to, not conspiracy plotting, but they're like, don't worry, when it comes around, we'll figure out one way or the other. And what they did was they handed it over. And the other side just let him. I mean, I'm not saying that the other side didn't commit fraud. They did. But what happened was it was blatant and obvious. And the people that were supposed to do something about it failed to do that. And Pence was one of them.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Really, I was just curious how people took it. Yeah, basically, I mean, I think he let us down, and I think Trump won. And they didn't like him from the time he started walking down the escalator, the stairs there at the hotel, saying he was going to run. They took it as a joke to start with, but when he started winning the primary, started off with, what was it, 17 or 19 people running for president. And then as they were dwindling off, they started getting more scared of him. So there we go.
But, one of the, everybody was after Trump from the beginning. We all witnessed it and seen it and everything. But I never seen anybody complaining what actually was going on when Trump got into office and got things rolling. We had a good economy for everybody, right? We had like low unemployment, jobs. People were living happier, better, carefree. Things seemed stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the same life for the Democrats too. Had all that. I didn't see any of them complaining about the money being good when Trump was in there.
Oh, I know. And of course, when the COVID hit and they started all these shutdowns, the economy took a tank. But when the country started opening up again, the economy was bouncing back under Trump. But we all know that anyway. But anyway, on this, I love what what's his name said to Biden. What's his name from Florida? Because he said, "Don't."
DeSantis.
He said, "Don't preach to me about COVID until you do something about the border." I love it.
Well, we should all be paying attention and see what they're doing. they're starting this COVID round 2 back up on us. They're
Oh, they
easing
are.
it
They
in.
are.
They're easing it in. But you look what's also happened. You've seen on some news reports for months. Okay, the people are coming in through the border, and they're just shipping them out all over the United States, wherever they want to go, every
Yeah,
single part of the country. And
not even
now they're
telling that state they're coming.
yeah, and now they're telling us a third of them are infected with COVID.
Yeah,
So all they're doing is purposely pushing and spreading COVID to keep it going, to keep this going, so they can have more ammunition to start up round 2. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we just got 3 full bus loads just north of me, supposedly up in Clio, Michigan, dumped off from some in the middle of the night. I just found that out this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I heard
Oh,
something
kids.
today that he said he's going to start vaccinating all them ones that come across the border. I like to see how he's going to do it, but you know,
I just hope that like we've mentioned it before and said things about the Democrats. They don't like you. Okay, these people don't like us. They don't like any of us.
no.
They think they're on your side, but they're really not. They're going to get you later. I just hope all the people that came into this country just don't think these Democrats are wonderful. You're being used. They are shipping you out to purposely spread COVID. I mean, that's completely obvious. Or they would be taking care of you if they cared about you. They would be giving you medicine and getting you free from being sick of COVID on day one if they really cared about you. But they don't.
Yeah.
They're using you as a super spreader.
And I mean, and really, the country, because we've had this discussion in the past on this show. Most Americans don't pay attention to what's going on overseas. Right? But where I'm going with this is, did you just read, I think it was yesterday I read it, or was it this morning, about China? Right? The Delta variant has hit China, and they've had increasing cases in this city where there's an airport. Right? They've shut the city down. The leaders of that city have disappeared because they're blamed for it happening. You know what I'm saying? That is your Communist Party. And that's what people want over here.
Okay, I don't think that they're going to do another series of shutdowns again. And the reason being is midterms are coming next year. Any politician who is up for election next fall who proposes or supports any sort of shutdown like what we had in 2020 will not get reelected. They will be committing political suicide. They can try to scare us. They can do this. They can do that. I just don't see it coming.
Well, see, that's where I disagree with you, because the people in the Northeast who are hardened Democrat states, they're already wearing the masks.
And it does.
And California and New York practically make up the electric. You know what I'm saying? If it was,
it doesn't matter either way, because it's not. It doesn't have to come from the political people. All they're saying is, okay, well, if you want the corporations, and you already know most corporations are going to jump on this garbage anyway. Same way they've jumped onto all the other garbage that for the last couple of years. You know, the woke stuff, whatever. They're the ones that are going to say, well, yeah, if you want to come to the game, you got to do this or you got to do that, and they're going to try to make it as hard and shitty for the people out here, and they don't even need to have the governors or the mayors or any of those people even take any responsibility for it. All they'll do is say that because they're already got places that'll do it. You know, big companies will already do it. You know, hopefully we can get by with the smaller companies if they can survive.
I think that's where boycotting comes in handy. If MLB says you got to wear a mask, not because there's a government rule, but because we're a big company and we're going to virtue signal and stuff, don't show up to the baseball game. Okay, there was a local grocery store, kind of a mom and pop, but a little bit bigger than that, and they had some specialty items and things like that. Absolutely, they were mask Nazis. I wouldn't go there the whole time. I went to Myers, the big chain that never made me wear a mask, and that was not an issue. Just like my work, they knew that if they said we're going to making masks mandatory, we had the health department walk in one day and they said everybody put on the mask. As soon as he left, they said do whatever you want. They knew if they made it mandatory, half the workforce would walk off and they couldn't make any money that way. So I'm not saying that you should quit your job. I'm not saying that you should starve, but look around for these businesses, whether it be a movie theater, a restaurant, a grocery store, whatever it is that says, no, it's a guideline, it's a recommendation, we're not doing it, and put your money there. And the rest of these businesses, they can go without your money. And some of them will just go, we don't care, we don't need your money, okay, fine. Or some of you people out there can go, boycotting doesn't work. Okay, fine. But that's how I'm dealing with it. And that's just an option you have. I'm not telling you have to do it, but I'm just saying that it is something that in some cases it actually works and it sends a message. And it's something you can exercise as an American. It's a freedom you can exercise as an American. In other countries, you don't have the option to boycott.
So, question for you. With you, are you just boycotting Remington Arms or Remington the brand?
Remington Arms, but I mean, if there's Remington ammunition on the shelf sitting right next to Federal, and then maybe I understand that they're owned by Vista Outdoors, which owns like 50 companies, some of which I buy stuff from, and they're not all the same. They have to keep them separate. Otherwise, they'd sue the whole damn thing, and that's why you have LLCs and garbage like that. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, Remington, Mike Pence, okay, that's what they did to the Second Amendment culture. And they can say, oh, no, this was easier, this was better, this was smart. Oh, it was a business, it was the lawyers. I don't give a damn. You can give me every excuse you want in the book. What they just did was send a message to everybody that it's open season for anybody who makes stuff, whether it be guns, ammo, accessories, you name it. And the thing is, I understand that these companies, all the way down to the gun stores, really don't give a shit about the Second Amendment either. There are some that do, but a lot of them don't. They give a shit about money, like these big YouTube channels. They don't really care about that. They're interested that I'm a gun company. I'm in the business of selling guns. I don't give a shit who I sell them to. I just care how many and how fast and what my profit margin is. Second Amendment, yeah, we'll donate some money to the NRA, whatever. But, to look good. But overall, we don't really give a shit. Well, that Second Amendment is your bread and butter, because without it, you're only going to be selling guns to the government. Okay. So you need to think. There are gun stores out there that these guys, they like guns. They target shoot, they hunt, they competitively shoot, and they've made it a business because they're so good at it. But they're not about to go to a Second Amendment rally. They're not about to sponsor something. They're not about to tell people to join gun rights organizations or hand out stuff in the store when a new gun owner comes in to buy a gun. They're not going to talk about gun laws unless it pertains to the ATF visiting them and something else that they've got to pay more money for. So, and I'm not saying all gun stores are like that, but I'm just saying there are so many out there, whether they're on social media or whether they're in the business. Well, social media as a business, right? If they're in the business, it's in their best interest for us to be afraid and us to be spending money and us to be panic buying and us to be, it's because that's how they all make money. And it's unfortunate. It's just like a necessary evil, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I agree.
I just forwarded you the email there, Rick, that they were talking about Mexico suing Glock and the whole list of gun companies now.
Mexico,
yeah, for these companies allowing all these bad firearms to get down there. I didn't read it. I didn't pay attention because it's Mexico or whatever. But yeah, there is
blame Obama and Fast and Furious.
Well. No. See, it's not the user's fault. It's the company that built the item. That's who's at fault.
That's bad for you, New York Outcast, by the way.
Well, then sue Peter
salad on a pizza.
for bringing them there. Then.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, New York Outcast put his camera on and showed a pizza. From Mr. Salad, that's kind of strange. But That's all right.
Salad on crust, man. Onions, green peppers, red peppers, mushrooms, sausage, pepperoni, cheese.
You look, but you frown when I say I'm having a salad on my hamburger.
Well, that's okay.
Oh, it's all
I
right
didn't
for
frown.
you, but it's not for
I
me.
didn't frown. I didn't frown.
Menu for thee, not for me.
Yeah, yeah. I see how it is. You know. But anyway, sorry. Got totally sidetracked there. All right. What else was I going to talk about? I don't know. I'm all excited that I can start reloading 223 if I can go shooting. Oh, I finally went over the other day also, I managed to sneak up on my cousin at home without him hiding on me. I actually cornered him, but he didn't have much choice. He had about 7 grandkids over there, and so he was babysitting, so he couldn't hide from me. Well, I was asking him about back to my my homesteading, and I was asking if he knew anybody, or can he keep his ear out, and told him what I was trying to do. I said, I heard you're buying some land up. And he said, yeah. He said, I bought some. I said, well, you willing to sell? I said, you're willing to sell me some? He goes, no. He said, my wife wouldn't allow it. I said, but then he takes me indoors, and he takes me into his gun room. I mean, well, let's rephrase that. One of his gun rooms. And he's got 2 humongous safes full of nothing but rifles, And he goes, I need to sell these. He goes, because he said, I use most of them for, he said, I take 1 or 2 of them with me when I go out west to go prairie dog hunting. He said, at my age, he says, I doubt if I'll be doing that anymore, So I was saying, well, and I said, if I was sitting over the back there, 2 acres of land, I said, I can keep an eye on this place for you while you go. He just laughed, but I just put the bug in his ear, So anyway, I'm going totally off topic. But I just, was talking to him. Mind you, he kept me talking for 2 hours, Then, it was I give you a quick story. It was hilarious. We're sitting outside under the shade, and his grandkids decided they wanted to take his hunting dogs, the rabbit. He has them trained to hunt rabbits. Decided to take these hunting dogs for a walk. Hunting dogs you don't put on a leash and walk them, but that's what they wanted to do. So they took them, and these dogs are dragging these kids all over the yard because they're trying to pick up a trail. Anyway, they disappear around the house, and they're gone for about 10 minutes. All of a sudden, there's about five dogs come flying around the corner. They're off the leashes, right? They come flying around the corner. They see the free-range hens in the yard, and they start going for them, right? And my cousin jumps up and he says, God damn it, you get hold of these damn dogs and they kill my chickens, I'm going to shoot the son of a bitches. Anyway, they finally got hold of all the dogs, got them all put back up. He comes and sits back down. He said, damn, I mellowed out. He said, I said, yeah, you're right. I said, because you would have shot the dog. Instead of threatening to shoot him, you would have shot him just to teach him a lesson, I thought it was funny, but out here in the sticks of Indiana, this is all happening.
Yeah, a hunting dog's worth more than a chicken.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
as I
folks,
said, the dog was doing what he was supposed to do. I'd be
yes.
pissed at the kids.
Yeah, you can't
Well,
blame
no,
the
no,
dog
no.
for being
I
a
mean,
dog.
he make. I mean, these are his laying chickens. So with the eggs, plus a couple of them, couple of these chickens that how can I? Some of them he has. My grandmother died years ago. I mean, I'm talking years ago. God damn, it's got to be what 20 years maybe, right? Well, he got her chickens, and he's kept that bloodline alive. He keeps breeding them. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what these chickens are from. And I guess he didn't want them to die to kill the bloodline because they belong to our grandmother. You know, so that's why he was getting all hostile. But,
Damn dogs.
yeah, he's got to see. I mean, he's mean and tough, and he'll shoot something without even thinking about it. But other times he's got a soft spot, and it's strange. But
Uh,
uh,
I've had a dog or two that was a pain in the ass. If they'd somehow get out that front door, it's on. It's not going to be good here in a few minutes.
oh yeah,
Some just trouble making pain in the ass dogs.
I
hell
might
yeah.
have told you guys this, but my dad had a chicken that used to drink beer with him every afternoon, and her name was Henny. And he told all the neighbors, "Hey, I got this chicken named Henny. You better keep your dog out of my yard, because if something happens to Henny, I'm gonna be pretty damn pissed." And he drank with that hen for about 2.5 years. Every day that he'd have him a 6 pack, and Henny would have her a little um he'd give it to her in a
Like a
you
dish.
know yeah, like it was the top of a spray paint can, but you'd just sit there and drink a little bit with him and get a little buzz.
Yeah.
And they were best friends, and sure enough, some dog got it, and he went Jeremiah Johnson on those dogs for about 10 years. He killed every dog that came across his property, and he had 11 acres, and he would shoot them with rifles and pistols and anything else he had, whatever was close by. He just killed them, man. It was like Jeremiah Johnson. I mean, he had a
Well, he
pile of
warned
bodies.
them. He warned them.
He warned them.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with him. He warned them. That's like the kids, get off of my yard.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that's it. Get off of my lawn. Stop cutting across the corner. Walk around.
Uh-huh.
That's what they made sidewalks for. To walk on. Not cut across the corner of my yard. So, yeah.
And I know a guy that moved into the last house on a dead end street, and he owned the land on the other side of the street for a gravel parking lot, and then he had a lot that was shaped where he had a 2 or 3 stall garage with all driveway leading up to it in the front, and would go ape shit nuts pissed off if you turned around in his driveway. I'm like, dude, you don't want people turning around your driveway. Don't buy the last house on the end of a dead end street.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I try. If I absolutely try not to turn around in anybody's driveway at all. Even today, I just try not to do it.
Yeah, well, if you're out in the country, you miss the road, you get lost. Yeah, they usually got long driveways and you're not near their house. You just turn around. But on the end of a one dead end street, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Hey, but that's his right to go ape shit. Get all pissed off.
He would come out the door like a madman, yelling and screaming, chasing after your cars, put up video cameras and signs and shit and everything. But like, I don't understand why he had to. He probably shortened his lifespan with all the stress over it, you know.
Yeah. Well, they should have done a 3-point turn without going in his driveway to turn around. You know, it can be done. Might take more than 3 turns, but should try to turn the car around without touching his driveway. You know, I agree with the guy 100%. You know, don't come on my shit. So, oh God, things are pretty sad. You know.
We need to rename this Grumpier Old Men.
No, that's already taken, isn't it? Isn't that what he used to call that show? Get off my lawn, when the grumpy old men or something.
Grumpy something.
Yeah. You know. Now, I'm not grumpy. I'm quite happy, really. I'm laid back, easygoing. You know, go down the diner for breakfast, shoot the breeze, go shoot.
Till somebody touches your grass, then you're ready to beat them to death.
Oh, I don't care here. It ain't doing me here. I don't give a shit.
You know what's right around the corner, Rick? School bus season.
Oh, God, I hate school buses. I tell you, that's the word. Why did you bring that up?
Because I'll have to deal with them. When I leave, I get on roads, Rick, where the school bus picks up a kid, waits till he sits down, closes the door, puts it in drives, and moves up one house, stops, opens the door so the kid can get on the bus, moves up, goes up 1-2 houses. Stops.
I know that
for a mile, man.
I mean, when I was a kid, we met at a bunch of kids met at in the front of somebody's house. That was the official school bus stop.
Yeah.
You know, we all got on there. But then again, you know.
Well, what's the rule here? The county kids, there is no like mass group bus stop. It's every single, if you're a kid, you're just waiting in your driveway.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's
because all the people like Rick used to run them over on the side of the road. So
well,
now,
damn right.
for safety reasons, they make all the stops.
You should teach your kids. I call it the Green Cross Code. How to look each way to make sure the road is clear before you cross. You shouldn't force me to have to stop by putting a big stop sign out, you know, on a school bus while these kids go tearing across the street. Then you wonder why on a Saturday afternoon they get hit by a car.
Well, Rick, are you going to bring back the public service announcement commercials with David Prowse wearing that superhero costume?
I don't remember that one.
In the 70s in England?
I'm trying to remember it.
Before he was Darth Vader, he used to do street crossing safety commercials in England.
That's right.
For little kids.
That's right. Yeah, the Green Cross Code. You know? Yeah. Look right, look left, and look right again. Yeah, before you cross. Yeah.
Say that again. The Green Cross Code?
I think it was called the Green Cross Code. I can't remember why.
All right,
it might not have been called the Green Cross Code, but I don't remember.
How would that work? How would that work in England looking right? Oh, they're backwards. You guys drive wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
You know? But they should teach that to kids over here. They used to teach that in school, in English schools, to the kindergartens and up. For the first, at least up to the third grade, they would teach that. You know,
a Patriot on when you're walking in London, they right on the sidewalk, right when you're about to cross. A lot of about 50%, 80% of all the streets say, "Look right."
Yeah.
Painted on the street.
Mind you, I almost got hit by a train this morning. I was going through Birdseye. There's the down the main high street of Birdseye, and that's where it has the barriers that drop down and the flashing lights. And actually, kind of funny because that crossing it's like you drive up a little hill to get to it, go across the tracks, then drive down the other side. Well, the front of my truck is going up the hill, and it was lucky that the red light started flashing right in front of me as I'm coming up the hill, and the barrier drops. It just barely missed the front of my car. I slammed on my brakes. Then I had to sit there for a minute before the train even came. I could have been across. But damn, I thought they'd give you more warning than that. I'm thinking if I was halfway across, would the barrier on the other side come down before I got across? It was that fast. I thought, son of a bitches. And it was only one damn engine pulling one tanker. Car. That was it. Then I went down. I was doing something. I went down I was early this morning, so I went for a little drive around the countryside, and almost ran into a deer too. One jumped in front of me down this gravel road, and luckily I wasn't going that fast, so I sort of stopped because I knew you see one there. There's got to be another one nearby, and sure enough, two more came across. So once the third one went across, I eased on, down there. Not only that, guess what else I saw in the road? Now, this wasn't this morning. This was late yesterday afternoon. I was going down one of those gravel streets, and I'm looking.
Did you see Bigfoot?
No, I'm looking in front of me, and I'm saying, who in the hell put a tree branch across the goddamn road? It had to be about 5 foot long. And as I get closer, the damn thing starts moving. It's a fucking snake. I think it was one of those black snakes or rat snakes, whatever you call them, because it was black. So I hate snakes. I almost pulled out my 380 and shot the damn thing, but I thought I better not. So I let it slither into the grass, and I just drove on. That's like, damn, that was a big snake.
The big black snakes are okay, man. They like eat the water moccasins and other snakes, and they won't hurt you.
Yeah, I would have pulled over and picked him up and moved him out of the road.
Shit. He's lucky I didn't run him over. But the only reason I didn't run him over in case he got wrapped around my axle and bit my ass when I got home. What?
I was in Arizona, and I was driving a pickup truck, a Ford, and I was following my dad. He was in front of me, and he ran over a snake in the highway, and it went like flying through the air. You know what I mean? And I was right behind him, and I know I hit it, and I instantly looked in my mirrors, and I didn't see it. And I swear to God, I mean, we probably drove an hour before we stopped for a gas at a gas station. And like the whole time I'm like thinking, man, where's the fuck's that snake? And when we got to the gas station, first thing I did was get out and go to the front of the truck, and I don't see it. So I started looking around everywhere on it, man. But never did find it. But it sure gave me the EBGBs, man, for a long time. Because out there, the chances of that not being a snake you want to play with is pretty high.
Oh, yeah. But, hey, even non-poisonous snakes will bite you.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt.
It only draws a little bit of blood.
I was trail riding on a bicycle a while ago, and cruising along, and I thought I hit a stick or something, and looked down and I seen this. It turned out to be a snake. It bit the tire and it was just stuck, like wrapping around, beating itself half to death. And kind of freaked me out a little bit because you wonder, is it going to fly off and, at you or what? It ended up coming off, but it stayed on there for, shoot, I don't even know, a good probably 60 feet, 70 feet. Like, it was on quite a few rotations. I was shocked, so it probably beat itself senseless, and the tire ended up popping. So, but at least it was, slowly down ways.
Was it a non-venomous or venomous snake?
No idea. First, like I said, I thought it was a stick, and then I realized it was a damn snake. So,
John C. out there in the chat goes, "No one likes snakes, but government employees have rights just like the rest of us."
New York, if that snake had popped your tire, I'm guessing it had fangs and not just teeth. Non-poisonous snakes, they just have teeth, where venomous snakes have. Except for the coral snake, they all have fangs.
What's the coral snake have?
He kind of chews on you. He kind of chews on you. They don't have really injection fangs.
Oh. I say that's why I don't like snakes. I can't stand them. They send shivers down my spine when I see one.
And I remember when I used to go fishing a whole lot at a place we call Ohio Power. Yeah, it's a place where they strip mine the land, and all the hollers and all the valleys are just filled with ponds. Like, they made like 550 lakes and ponds, and then like the beavers dam them up and send them downhill and make 2 or 3 other ponds. And there's not a single path, roadway, parking lot to none of them. It's pure hiking and just finding ponds just out in the wild. Well, we knew about all the ones that we go to, and I got family locals down there, and we'd go, and we had this one pond that we could take a john boat to, right? But there was 3 of us, and the john boat was really loaded down with 3, so somebody'd fish on the shore, and somebody'd fish in a boat. Well, the 3 of us were in it, and we were out there, and the snakes were everywhere. I mean, they were swimming at us in the water. You could see them 50 yards off coming straight to you at the john
damn!
boat.
I've had a story like that myself. Well, when I was down in Georgia in a boat. Those goddamn moccasins coming at the boat.
What they did, see, the john boat, this one is only about an inch or 2 off the top of the water any goddamn ways. And we're all overloaded, and family down there is a little extra heavy people, it was overloaded. But the whole idea, there was a little island in a peninsula out toward the end. They dropped me off on that and took off, and I was surrounded by them. They were everywhere. I could hear them in the grass. I was watching them slither in the water everywhere around me. Oh, I was so pissed off. They couldn't get back there fast enough because I was screaming.
All right, we're getting some feedback there.
Somebody's mic. Well, I was in Bangkok, just north of there, at the Dana plant, putting in a stamping, press plant with a big coil steel. Well, they had a whole section of the plant that had gravel as the floor because of the oil and stuff seeping off these big coils of steel. Well, they'd have them sitting on these pieces of lumber with a half round so they wouldn't roll. They'd take them with a crane and set them down. And we were in there, and I hear all these guys, little short Thai guys running down there, and they start picking up these logs and they start beating the ground. Ended up, there was a big black cobra in the plant, like 20 feet from me, and I didn't even know it. And they were beating it. I think they ate it for all I know, but that was my snake thing.
Whose lizard is that? That's another thing that needs to be shot. You shouldn't have them as pets.
So, ladies,
what's wrong with having reptiles as pets?
They're lazy. They don't do a damn thing.
What was that? What?
Rob's got to have an iguana, something that eats lettuce for sure.
Is that what that is? Is that what that is?
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey,
I had
did
a
you-
Savannah monitor. I
Did you-
had a big one, but
Did you know you can go to Florida and go blow dart hunting for those damn things along the canals? It's legal because they want to get rid of them because they're an invasive species.
Blow dart, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that was drugs though.
It's people with YouTube channels that go around hunting them and stuff and get yelled at, but it's legal and the police let them continue and all that type of stuff.
When I was little, we killed a water moccasin, and it had this big old fangs in it, and we pulled out the fangs and cleaned them out real good with dishwater, and you could stick that fang. It was so sharp and so long. It was like a needle, like a hypodermic needle. You could stick it in your hand and you wouldn't even feel it, just like the doctor's office.
Sorry. I was just Rob just had to step out for a minute. So yeah. Anyway, it's 8:00. Well, actually, it's 3 minutes past. So I need to do my quiz. This is for the was it August 14th? What in the hell? What in the hell was the question? Oh yes, I wanted to know what. I'm trying to remember. It was a. I think I gave part of the thing is the Winchester 1886 number 1. I want to know who bought it, who did they give it to, and how much did it just recently sell for in the last few years. Email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Oh yeah, somebody. Hang on. So,
did you tell that Southpaw RX that he won last week? I thought he was out in the chat. That's why I mentioned it.
He is. Yeah. It's already. I've already got it addressed to him. I wasn't going to tell him in case he said no. Then it'd be a waste of an envelope. So, no, what I was going to say is somebody, who was it? Somebody, let's have a, oh yes, it was G23 answered the quiz last week. And unfortunately, I opened your email and all I've got is, I don't know, one hell of a long email with a bunch of pictures on it, and it won't let me open them up. It won't let me. What's the word I'm looking for? Make them bigger so I can read what's on them. So I got a feeling you got the right answer, just that I just can't read it. So I just wanted to mention that. So, I mean, if you don't send me in anything else, I will. I know what you're trying to say, so I can go with it, but I just wanted to mention that. So, all right. Oh, New York Outcast is back. Okay. So, all right. Yes, and G23, you got a double one, actually, and I'll be mailing it out this Friday. It's because I do them once a month when my disability check gets here. So some months it's 5 weeks, some months it's 4 weeks, but I normally mail it out when I get my disability check once a month. So it's here, and you got a double prize actually in yours. So because you won it twice, because one came back to me and it said your address was wrong, and I looked at it. It doesn't look any different, but I rewrote it, and I wrote it out nice and neat. or they can read it properly. If it comes back to me again, you're going to be shit out of luck. We'll figure out some other way. All right. Mind you, though, I know where I slipped up. The address was right, but I didn't put your name on there. I just put G23. So maybe they didn't recognize who that was. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So what else is going on? Anything? Or should we wind this up so I can get something to eat? Did I tell you a neighbor bought me a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes? Yeah.
Yes, she did. G23's got to get on his mailman.
I still got a few left. I've still got a few left. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of cutting them in half, these little cherry tomatoes, and laying them on top of, make myself a cheese and tomato sandwich for dinner. A couple of them, So I don't have no big tomatoes. Take those, just slice them in half and lay them flat side down on the cheese. What do you think? Think it'll work, or do you think and of course I'll cut the sandwich. I'll cut the sandwich in half. So, but do you think they'll all fall out when I pick the sandwich up to eat it?
Comes on your grip.
Use some mayo.
Not if you add enough cheese.
Do what?
So not if you add enough cheese and it's thick and it's melted in there. Do you do a melted cheese sandwich or like a grilled?
No, this is a straightforward.
Oh, just a cheese and tomato and.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Go ahead and
toast your bread.
Make a grilled cheese sandwich. Make a grilled cheese sandwich and slice those cherry tomatoes in half and lay them on the cheese and get the cheese, get it to melt inside the cheese and shit. Yeah, that might work. That's a good idea. Thank you, Patriot. I'm going to go with that.
It's a horrible idea.
Yeah, where's
cut the inside of your mouth? You're going to be complaining for a week.
2 slices of cheese with tomato in between.
Yeah, tomato's bad for you.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway, doesn't that AR look great hanging on the wall there? Like it's just suspended in space.
It's like it's magic.
It is, and you could have one of those from rnldisplays.com. That's on the wall mount that comes with it, or you get a table mount or desk mount, which I have right here. Where is it? There it is. Or you can stick it on that on your table or desk or whatever, or on top of your filing cabinet behind you or whatever. But
you guys see him?
Do what?
I'm asking if they can see you.
Yeah.
All I see is your little avatar.
Did I hold it up high enough? That's
I don't know. Maybe. I'm just seeing your avatar.
Well, I'm putting it up there now. That's the table. That's the table one. So you can put it on a table or on a filing cabinet behind you or whatever. Stick it on your coffee table in the living room. But it comes with that and the wall mount. And I'm using the wall mount because it makes it look like it's suspended right there in space. So, rnldisplays.com. And when you're checking out, where it says coupon, write in Rick's Life, and you'll get 15% off. So, there you go. All right. Okay. So anyway, where was I? Let's wind this up. Because I'm getting hungry. Just thinking about my cheese and tomato sandwich. All right. Jason, any shout outs or plugs?
Yeah, good to see everybody tonight. Appreciate the invite, Rick. I want to shout out a channel I came across. I put a link out in the chat. This channel's called Chris from the 740. Go check out his channel, man. Gun content, shooting content. Turns out he's a local guy for me. And I just bought a chronograph. I'm waiting on it to show up in the mail. And I was just going through videos looking for that chronograph, and I came across his. Then I checked out his channel, and he's got some reloading stuff, some competition shooting stuff, just a little bit of everything. And he's going to have a O-Light giveaway for 500 subs. So
Okay.
just go sub his channel. You can watch his video for the whatever you got to do for the giveaway. But just give him a sub, man. He's just another guy like us. He seems like a decent guy. And
Did you decide on what tripod you're going to use?
yeah, I'm just gonna go to the store, I guess, like Walmart or someplace, and just see what they look like, see what they got in their hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you can find a reasonably priced ones in Walmart or whatever. Because, I mean, all you're doing is standing it up. And, as long as it has adjustable legs where, if you got it on a slight, the ground slightly uneven, one leg could maybe be adjusted longer than the other. You know what I'm saying? To make
Yeah,
sure it's sitting straight.
I've been seeing them with a hook on the bottom, and like Guns and Barbecue said, get one with a hook on the
Yeah,
bottom.
my one I use for my camera here has that.
I just don't want the wind blowing it over.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, go check out this guy's channel. Give him a sub if you like what his videos he's got. And once again, thanks for an invite. It was good to see everybody.
all right. Good for you to be here. All right, Squib. Any shout outs or plugs? Must be in the middle of something, so we'll move on. We'll get back to him in a minute. All right, Patriot, you got anything?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'm working on a SIG video, but I'm going to cut it up because I don't like long videos. But another descriptive garbage one, if you're into that kind of stuff. But other than that, I have to get up extremely early because my daughter is going in for outpatient surgery tomorrow. So we're going to get through that, and then I'll be around probably.
All right. What do you say?
School starts on the 16th.
That's what I was just going to ask. So,
yeah.
Yeah, actually, some I think, I think Crawford County here, school started today. So damn early, ain't it?
Time.
So anyway, all right. Willed and Well Armed, you got anything?
Yeah, our school started on Monday, so we're on day 3 already.
Damn.
So, yep, it's reality. So, but got some videos coming out, and I've had some requests for kind of a no parking, willed and well armed sign, and so I registered my logo and everything at Zazzle, and designed a sign and some T-shirts over there. So I've got a store at Zazzle.com, and then the name is Wheeled and Armed. I left out the well armed, just Wheeled and Armed, and you can buy the sign. However, I couldn't even buy one. It's sold out, so got to wait for those to come back in. But anyway, you can take a look at the T-shirts if you want.
I think I got you as a moderator. Put the link in the chat. If you want.
All right, I'll do it next week.
If you're not a moderator, I'll make you one.
Okay, I'll put it in there next week when I'm more prepared.
Okay, all right. So all right. I've left him to last. New York Outcast.
Well, I'd just say thanks for sticking around with us, folks. Obviously, check out everybody on the panel. And if you feel like you're lacking in any way and want to get your man card back, shop at R&L Displays. Have a good evening.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah. All right, back to Squib. Are you back yet, Squib?
Yeah. Every time I turned around, my boss came back here.
That's all right. That's why I moved on. You know. So anything to say?
No.
All right. I appreciate you being here. I
I
really
appreciate
do.
you inviting me.
You know. So, all right. That's it. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for stopping by and just listening to me and the gang here. The gang here waffle on. Well, mainly me waffle on about almost absolutely nothing. But I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back again on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So I will see you all then. So good evening, everybody.
Good night, Sabrina.
Rick's live. Better record.